This story is about a ship, a sailing ship whose name is Poseidon, and it is very big, big enough that it has a lot of floors. Today, a lot of people come on this ship. Everyone was very happy because today is the night of 31st December. That is, a new year will start from tomorrow. Here someone is having a party on this ship. Someone is playing cards, someone is dancing, and then we see the control room of the ship, where the captain doubts that something is wrong. He says that there is definitely something wrong, and then he sees that the very big and high wave from the front is coming towards their ship. Seeing this, all the captains get very scared and quickly try to turn the ship. They succeed in turning it, but the wave was so big that a while ago the moon was visible behind it. But it has completely hidden behind this wave, which meant that the wave was much bigger than their ship. Then they announced that there is going to be a very big problem on the ship. There is going to be an accident, so all the passengers and officers are absolutely alert. As soon as it is announced, there is chaos, and then the high wave hits their ship. The pressure is so high that the Poseidon, which is such a big ship, is completely upside down in the sea. It means that the upper part went down. That is, it became the ground and the floor came up. As soon as the ship turns, it is obvious that things fall and break. Many people are killed by drowning in the sea. Apart from this, there is also a very big explosion in the engine room. Due to this, all the captains who were running the ship also died. Now in the ship's hull, where there were the most people, an officer comes and tells them that we have good news and bad news. The bad news is that a very big tsunami wave has hit our ship. Due to this, it has completely turned upside down. So no one can get out of here. And the good news is that our officers, a few minutes before the wave hit, informed the rescue team, which saved everyone during a bad time. So they are going to come here soon, taking their helicopters. So everyone should be completely relaxed. We will get out of here very soon. Now let's see a man whose name was Dallin. He was taking out the necessary things from the dead officer lying in front of him. A child comes to him and asks, "What are you doing?" To which Dallin replied that I was preparing to leave. The child says, "You cannot leave here." Now it has been told that the ship has turned upside down. Dallin says, "But there is a way to get out of here, and that is the way down, for which it is obvious that I will have to go up." Then, as soon as he starts leaving here, the child brings his mother here, and because Dallin has already met his mother, then he knows him. His mother asks Dallin, "What did you tell him that you can leave from here?" On this, he says, "Yes, I know about a way." The child's mother says, "You have heard what an officer said, that we should wait here, help is coming." The ship has turned upside down, so no one can leave from here. In the meantime, another man, Robert, and an old man also come. The old man tells me that I am an architect, that is, a designer of everything, an expert in making all kinds of things who knows very well about boats and ships. And according to me, this ship was not made in such a way that it floats upside down. This means that it will be lying in such water and will sink, which will kill all of us. Now the other man, that is, Robert, asks Dallin, "Do you know the way to the disco?" Dallin says yes, it is above, but in this situation, why do you want to go to the disco? You want to dance. Robert says no, my daughter is stuck there. I also want to go with you, but first I will save my daughter, and then we will take her and leave from here. Dallin says no, it cannot be, because I work alone. Then Robert asks him, "Okay, tell me the shortest way to go up from here," to which he replies, "As soon as I know, I will tell you," which proves that Dallin wants to leave here, but does not know how. Then Robert calls a man of the ship and asks him, which is the shortest way to go up from here. Then he starts explaining the way to him with signs, and Robert tells him, "I'll give you the double amount of what you earn in a month. Just take us there." To this, the man agrees, that is, now he will also go with Robert. After that, Robert says to Dallin, "Listen to me, if you have a plan. Then we have a guide who will tell us about every place." So if we all go together, then our lives can be saved. If we go separately, then we may die," for which Dallin finally agrees, after which all the people come together to go to the lower part of the ship. We know that the lower part of the ship is toward the top. That's why they were going there, and going there, they were going to leave from the road where there are big fans, which run the ship and take it forward. But when people were leaving the hole, all the doors there were closed so that the water could not come inside, although there was already a lot of water there. The windows and doors there were so strong that more water could not come inside. They were constantly moving forward so that they could somehow reach the lower part of the ship and get out of there so that their lives could be saved. But after going a little further, their whole way is closed, because in front of them, the corpses of many people are large, after which they open the lift door. The lift is very high from here. Then, with a very big iron bar, they make a way to the front door so that they can open that door and get out of here. But even after a lot of effort, the door does not open from them. But even then, the door of the lift on the upper floor opens. Then the people help each other and get out of the way and come to the way of the lift, but still, two people were behind. An old man and a guy on a ship guard, and as these people were climbing up that way, the iron bar under them slips and falls, after which they hang from the side of the way of the lift. They can't even touch it because there is a deep trench down there, and if they fall, they will only die. But the trouble was not reduced by hanging here, because the lift that was above was also coming down slowly, which if it collided with both of them, then also their death is certain. Now, Dylan holds the old man's hand, while the guide is hanging, holding the old man's leg. Dylan is trying to pull him, but the weight is too much. So he fails at it, and then Dylan sees that the lift is about to fall from above. So he tells the old man to somehow drop the guy down and leave him. Otherwise, you will also die. Then the old man does not want to go, but he hits his leg and drops it. Due to this, the guy dies, and then Dylan pulls the old man. The lift goes down quickly, due to which there is a big blast and fire spreads everywhere. So Dylan and Robert quickly close the door of their lift, and now one of them is killed. Now there are 5 people left, after which they start moving forward again. After going a little farther, they get to a disco area, where Robert's daughter and her daughter's friend meet 2 more people. That is, they got a total of 4 people, which means they are 9 now, and now they have to reach the upper part of the ship as soon as possible. Because this ship is going to sink. Now that the people are moving forward, the road closes once again, and if these people want to go to the other side, then they will be killed there. The iron railing was broken there. With its help, they can go to the other side. Then Dylan asks him if anyone knows any other way to get out of there. Now a girl who has been hiding on this ship for many days because she did not have a ticket tells them that she has been living on it for many days. I know everything here. Apart from this, there is no other way to get out of here. 5 people climb up the railing one by one and start getting out of there, where 5 people slowly reach the other side. Then the robot tells his daughter, "Now you come, son, to go to the other side." But then a drunkard comes here, who met him in the disco. He says, "I will come first." And then, as he starts going, it happens in the middle. Then a very large part of the engine falls over him, due to which the drunkard and the railing also break and go down with him. Now, along with that part of the engine, a lot of oil also falls into the water. The sparklers were already falling there, so that's why there is a fire in the water. Now the drunkard was dead, so there were 8 left. But only 5 people went to the other side, where they had to go, while Robert, his daughter, and Dylan were still stuck behind there. There was fire in the water. There was no way for them to go that way, because the railing had also broken when the engine fell. Now Dylan ties a rope to a pipe and goes into the water, because he knows that there is water below, where the fire cannot even touch him. That's why he goes down and reaches the other side. There he ties the other end of the rope to the pipe, from which Robert and his daughter also come. from which 8 of them are safe and start going up again. Now Dylan knew everything because there was a time when he used to work in the Navy. He had left the Navy, but he still had a lot of information about the ship. Now the scene in the hall is shown, where all the people were waiting for help. They all look very nervous because the strong glass was also breaking due to the pressure of the water. And then, as the glass breaks, a lot of water comes in under pressure, in which they all drown and die. They could do nothing except scream at their last moment. Those 8 people also hear their screams and understand that all the poor people died. But at this time, where these people were, water also starts flowing there. But now there's no way to get out of here. Then they open a small ventilation, which was a small way, and says that this is the only way out. But because that place was closed, only one person could go at a time. So that's why these people start going forward one by one. Robert is at the top, and Dylan is at the bottom. And as people were moving forward, they saw that water had started coming from below. Due to this, now water is coming into that ventilation too. Then, as people reach the end of the ventilation, they see that there is a net there, which Robert tries to open a lot, but he is unable to open it because there was a nut on it, and his hand was also not coming out of there. That's why he tells the girl to come up, "Son, hurry up." Then, in the next moment, he calls the girl to himself and asks everyone, "Does anyone have a coin or something made of iron with which we can open the nut?" On which the girl who was with him, who was living without a ticket, takes off a cross locket from her neck and says that these people may be able to open the nut with it. Then the child takes the cross and slowly starts opening the nut because his hands are short and have reached the nut. But here the water was increasing, and because Dylan was at the bottom and he was about to drown, then fortunately the net opens, due to which everyone quickly comes out one by one. In this way, Dylan's life is also lost, and now he has to go up only 2 floors, after which all their lives will be saved. But when these people go ahead, they get stuck in a tank. They can't go down because water is coming from there. They could not go ahead because there was no way out of here except for a small road that was strongly closed. That's why Dylan explains to them that the place where we are standing is like a tank, where water is filled to keep the ship in balance. And when it is completely filled with water, this small road opens, after which all the water goes to the other tank. And now if we have to get out of here, then we will have to fill this tank, so that when it is full, the water goes to the other tank after the door opens. We can survive after this. Robert's daughter gets very nervous and says that if the door does not open even after the water is filled, and what will happen if we break our breath in the middle on? Which Dylan answers in anger and anxiety that he does not know. But apart from this, we have no other way. So now here Robert and Dylan decide that they will fill water in this tank, after which slowly they start filling water in it. Now, as soon as the tank is filled with water, the door still does not open, due to which all these people get very disappointed. But then, the next moment, that door suddenly opens, and all these people come to the other tank under the pressure of water. Now these people had escaped from that tank, but the trouble was still not decreased, because they have to go to the other side by swimming to get out of here. After which, everyone takes a deep breath and tries to go to the other side. Here at the very end was the girl who had been hiding in this ship for a long time. When she was going ahead, her clothes got stuck in a wire, due to which she gets stuck there. Although that old man saves her and brings her up, by then her breath has broken, which means she is dead. After which now there are 7 people left, and again they start moving forward. Now these people reach the floor, where there are big fans, from where they have to get out. But as soon as they come here, they see that there is a lot of water here, on which the dead body was floating. Seeing this, Dylan becomes very sad. Then, looking at his face, she asks the child, "What happened, Dylan? Why are you sad?" On which Dylan says that the part from where we had to leave is submerged in water, We cannot even reach there because it is very far and more water is increasing." Hearing this, Robert says that we should go to a higher place. Alas, there is no other way to get out of it. Robert says, "Thank you. You have tried a lot to save us all. But maybe it is written in our destiny that we will die in this ship, and anyway, everything is not in the control of a human being." But then in the engine room, there is a big blast. Due to this, all the water that was filled comes out from here, and by doing this, it also empties out the water from where they have to leave. That is, where there were big fans. Then another problem comes in front of them, and that is that the fan is still rotating on its own. The bigger problem was that it was not straight but was rotating in the opposite direction. Due to this, the air pressure was against them, which meant that even if they throw something at it, it will not go toward the fan and will come back to them. Then Robert gets a map from which he finds that the control room is just below these fans, where these fans can be closed. The control room is at a distance of 150 feet from here, and going there means death. But despite this, Robert was ready to go there. Seeing this, his daughter's friend says that you can't go there. Let me go because I can go there and can also close these fans. Immediately after that, he was ready to go there to close the fans. But because of his leaving, Robert's daughter is crying. She forbids him to go. Then her friend says that it is necessary to go. Someone will have to go. And now, seeing his daughter cry, Robert himself dives into the water and starts moving toward the control room. Then we see that Dylan is not here because that little boy drowned, which Dylan and his mom were looking for. The child is found very soon, which Dylan also saves. After which they come back to the same place where the rest of the people were. But the problem was that the water was also increasing here, and if they did not close the fans or come out of here, they will also drown and die. There, Robert reaches the control room and tries to close the fans. But he sees that the button from which the fans were to be closed, it is broken, and at the same time, Robert's breath is breaking. Due to this, he is suffering. He was about to die, then he sees the button from which the fans are reversed. That is, the direction of the fans can be changed. And a few seconds before dying, he presses the button and he dies, which means that Robert gave his life to save all of them. Dylan sees that the fans are still not closing, so he says in fear, "Why is it still running? Why is it not closing?" And then Robert's daughter's friend sees that the things that were coming to us earlier have changed. That is, the air pressure was on our side. It is now reversed. That's why he tells Dylan that Robert has reversed the fans. So now we can throw things and close the engine. We can stop the fans. After which he gives a very big cylinder to Dylan. Dylan throws such a cylinder toward the fans that there is a very big blast. Due to this, the engine stops and the fans finally break. After which they leave that way, and one by one this ship sinks into the water from Poseidon, and quickly gets on a small boat which came from Poseidon. Because there are many such boats on ships. When everyone gets on it, then Poseidon starts falling toward them. That's why everyone starts using the ship's oars. And then the Poseidon that was about to fall on them, they had come a long way from it. Poseidon, which was a very big ship, was floating on very calm water a few hours ago, and it was completely submerged in water. After which it fires a flare gun that the rescue team that has left to save them sees them. After a while, the rescue team saves them all, and in this way, the lives of these 6 people are saved. And this is how the story ends.